All right, welcome back to The Explainer. Today we are diving into a really fascinating breakdown from Money Talk with Leon. We're going to be looking at a highly specific and honestly a highly lucrative workflow, a digital product business built entirely using artificial intelligence. We'll explore the exact tools, the specific prompts, and the overall strategy used to turn automated content into some pretty massive revenue. To really grasp why this specific workflow is worth our attention, we've got to look at this number. $38,516. According to the source material, this is the exact revenue generated in just 7 days, entirely by selling simple digital PDF guides. Now, the creator points out that to hit $1 million a year, you need to make about 83 grand a month, right? So earning over 38,000 in a single week puts this creator on a highly calculated, incredibly accelerated pace. Just think about what an extra 38 grand could do for your own projects. So here's our roadmap for today's explainer. We'll start with the 38K AI hustle, then move into finding the pain point, writing with Claude AI, designing the product, and finally, we'll wrap up with the controversial marketing and ethics behind it all. Let's get right into it.
Starting right off with part 1, the 38K AI hustle.
What's actually wild here is just how simple the core software stack is. We're literally looking at just 3 tools. First, you've got PDF TrendLab handling the market research. Second, Claude AI swoops in to do all the heavy lifting for the copywriting. And finally, Canva is used to bring that text to life through formatting and design. By keeping the setup this lean, it takes this big, abstract idea of an AI business and turns it into something super tangible. Which brings us to step 2, finding the pain point. Now you can have the simplest, best software stack in the world, but if you don't have a solid concept, it's not going to work. You can't just sell random trivia. People will, however, gladly throw down $9 to $27 to solve a specific, urgent, emotional problem. They're looking for immediate resolution, and your product has to promise exactly that. So how do you actually find those emotional pain points? Well, in our source material, the creator turns to PDF TrendLab. He typed in the really broad niche of parenting. And what's cool is the software doesn't just spit out generic keywords. It pulls up real-time, specific issues that people are actively trying to resolve online right now. Out of a generated list of 10 trends, he pinpointed a highly emotional, high-opportunity pain point: infant sleep struggles. And look, if you have ever met a sleep-deprived parent, you know for a fact they are highly motivated buyers. Okay, moving on to step 3, writing with Claude AI. This is where it gets really interesting. Raw search data is, clinical and dry data doesn't sell. But by prompting Claude AI to make the phrasing punchier and way more emotional, a basic query totally transforms. It becomes "the sleepless nights end here, the gentle guide to bedtimes that actually last." See the difference? It instantly connects to that parent's sheer exhaustion. Once you've got that emotional hook secured, the actual prompt is surprisingly simple. You basically just ask Claude to write the full PDF guide in text form, right there in the chat window. But, and this is a massive caveat, the creator gives a really strict warning here. You absolutely must personally read through and verify the output. AI isn't flawless, right? A human has to step in and ensure it adds real, accurate value before you even think about selling it. Next up, section 4, designing the digital product. Because, let's be honest, a giant wall of AI-generated text isn't exactly a product you can sell. It needs packaging. And this entire 3-step process happens right inside Canva. Step 1, you just open up a standard A4 portrait document. Step 2, source some high-quality, copyright-free imagery from Unsplash, something like a sleeping mom and baby, to really match that emotional tone. And step 3, lay out all that AI text with clean subtitles and formatting so it's super easy to read. And these design choices? They are completely deliberate. We're talking a creamish beige background, midnight blue text, and the League Spartan font. Why go that specific? Because it instantly builds customer trust. The soft beige and the calming blue visually reinforce that whole gentle sleep theme, which just makes the final product feel way more premium. Finally, we arrive at section 5, controversial marketing and ethics. All right, so the product is designed and done, but creating it is only half the battle. Now we get into a highly debated conversion strategy. Notice that little line added to the final cover by a parent who's been there 6 times? The creator openly admits this is a totally fabricated persona. It's used purely to increase perceived authority and force an emotional connection. Kind of like when a store artificially inflates a price just so they can show a huge discount later. So why take that ethical risk at all? Well, the creator justifies it purely by the numbers. By adding that one fake line, he achieved a massive 4% conversion rate. For him, the sheer volume of sales basically dictates the strategy, completely regardless of the criticism. Now, when it comes to those critics, the creator's defense is that the core product itself is still highly valuable. His argument is that because Claude AI trains on literal, factual studies and data, the information inside the PDF is entirely legitimate. He also points out that, as of right now, there are absolutely no legal restrictions preventing people from using AI to generate products this way. So, with the product locked in, the marketing goes super aggressive. First, they pay for integrated ads with YouTube and Facebook influencers. These creators literally point to the digital guide on screen while talking directly to the pain of sleepless nights. Once that gathers enough data, the creator leverages highly targeted direct Facebook ads using just the cover image and some specific captioning. And that multi-channel approach, that is exactly how he hit that 38 grand in just 7 days. Which really brings us to the core tension of this whole explainer. Are AI-generated products the ultimate entrepreneurial shortcut, empowering pretty much anyone to build a high-income business from scratch? Or do these fabricated marketing personas represent a highly controversial new frontier where consumers just have to constantly question what's real and what's not? It's a pretty fascinating mix of immense financial potential and some incredibly complex ethics. Definitely something to keep in mind as you navigate this rapidly evolving landscape of AI commerce. Thanks so much for tuning into The Explainer.